Welcome to Meals with Maria and welcome to episode 4 of Real Food, Real Budget Meal Prep. My family tries to eat mostly seed oil, refined sugar, and chemical free. So these meal preps are a way to save money creating foods that are not processed for us for the week, but still following the type of lifestyle that we want to lead. The recipes I'm going to be sharing today is a breakfast prep. We're going to be making some freezer burritos. I'm also going to make some hamburger rolls and make double the recipe so that we can freeze some and that we have some for the future. There's going to be a sourdough hamburger roll. They're super delicious. For a snack, I'm going to be making high protein banana mini muffins. And for lunches, I'm going to be prepping a chicken and broccoli with some chickpeas and an Asian soy glaze. So when I'm baking, the first thing I need to do is get the bread started so that it has time to rise, because the name of the game with baking is always be patient. Time. So I need 500 grams, because I'm going to double the recipe, of warm milk. So I just cleared out my scale and there we go, 500 grams. I'm just going to heat this up in the microwave. All right, so we're going to add our warm milk.
Okay.
Ben has joined us to the bottom of our bowl for our mixer.
Mixer?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we're just going to clear this out so that it's 0.
And that's my favorite part.
Oh yeah? And we're gonna add 14 grams of instant yeast.
Oh, can I talk to
We
the
have some packets.
I can talk to the phone.
What are you gonna say?
Hi.
Great, can you pour this in and let's see how much it is. Oh, that's right. So that's 7 grams. That's what I figured. One package is 7 grams.
Hi, yeah. It sounds like little piggy.
And then we're gonna add the second package. So this is a sourdough bread. We're using sourdough discard. That's good, buddy. Can you mix this?
Okay. And then I'm going to mix this.
Yeah. So do what I say, not what I do. What ended up happening, I'm out of coconut sugar. Normally I'd use coconut sugar. I'm probably gonna use the last of what I have for refined sugar, which is not ideal, but I think it should be okay with the sourdough that's in this to kind of balance it out. So we're gonna do 100 grams of sugar. Trying to think of how much that makes it in each roll. Also, the yeast needs to eat the sugar, like otherwise it's not gonna be activated. That's what it eats. So it's important. Like I said, I like to use coconut sugar, but today we'll just use regular because that's what I have.
Hi, Bunny. My mom poured in sugar and I poured in milk and then what's that called?
Yeast.
And I poured in the yeast too.
All right, I don't know what I was thinking because I'm picking up eggs for my friend this afternoon. She raises some delicious soy-free eggs. And I only have 1 egg left. And almost everything I'm supposed to cook right now has eggs. So we're gonna adjust. I'm gonna finish up with what I'm working on right now. And then I'm gonna make the chicken and broccoli because I don't need eggs for that. And then we're gonna do the rest of the freezer breakfast wraps and the muffins this evening because that's when we'll have eggs. So instead of a second egg yolk in this, we're gonna try something new. We're gonna use a 1/4 cup of yogurt. Luckily, I make my own in the Instant Pot, so I always have some available. And that yogurt recipe is newly on my website and also on my app. And if you're not familiar with my app, that's where you're gonna find all the recipes from today's video, as well as all of them put together in like a little meal plan so that you can prep everything together. And you'll also be able to get the download of like the step-by-step process of how to accomplish this exact meal prep. And then I need about 200 grams of starter, unfed starter. Also, running low on starter. I don't know what's going on in my fridge. Usually I call myself the white jar crew because I've got yogurt jars, starter jars. There's also like green yogurt whey. Homemade ranch dressing. You know if you're part of the white jar crew. The experiments living in the fridge. So I need to soften these sticks of butter. I didn't leave them out. They're about 200 grams. I'm gonna do that, and then I'll just save the rest if I have a little extra. But since I have the package on the outside, plus some will stick like to the outside of what I soften this in, I think will be good. Well, that's my gravy. We need 20 grams of salt. It always seems like a lot of salt, but I mean, if you think about it, it's a lot of bread. I'm gonna be making 16 hamburger rolls. And 1,000 grams of bread flour. Lots of flour. So I'm putting this in my mixer with the dough hook attachment. You can knead it by hand, probably 10 to 15 minutes until it gets elastic, but that'll hurt. I prefer using the dough hook. We're gonna do this for 6 to 8 minutes on low. So this was about 8 minutes. I'm just gonna cover this and put it by the window. We're waiting for it to double in size. I find that usually takes about an hour and a half, but it's gonna depend on how hot or cold it is. So the summer it goes faster. Right now it is warming up, so. One thing I am gonna do is get these potatoes started, and these are for the breakfast freezer burritos, but if I have them cooked now, it'll make everything so much easier tonight when I just assemble them with the eggs. So I'm just gonna start by peeling them, and then I'm just gonna small dice them. I want them to be kind of a smaller dice because I'm putting them inside the burritos, and I don't want like big pieces of potato, but I do want a little bit of potato crunch in there. Put the small dice right onto a lined baking sheet, drizzle it with olive oil, salt, pepper, garlic powder, and onion powder. Just all the best of the best. Oh, and a little paprika. Toss that around and then bake them at 450 degrees for about 13 minutes. Tossing halfway through. Okay, we're gonna make the ginger soy. It's not soy because we're not using soy. Actually, I realized I said soy. I'm like, it's coconut aminos. I will come up with a name for this, but it's a broccoli and chicken sheet pan meal, but with a sticky Asian sauce. So I'm gonna use this Primal Kitchen ketchup, which is great. It's not my kid's favorite, like when it comes to like eating with French fries or something like that, homemade French fries, but it will do wonders in this actual recipe, so I'm excited about that. So we're doing a half a cup of the ketchup. We're gonna do a half a cup of honey, 1/3 a cup. You can do soy sauce or tamari, but I'm gonna use coconut aminos. 2 cloves of garlic grated. You could also mince this by hand, but I love this microplane. I mean, this is a ginger recipe, so we're gonna go kind of crazy on it. We're gonna do about a tablespoon of ginger. Go wild. I keep mine in the freezer so that I always have fresh ginger on hand, and then it grates really easily, so it's amazing. Awesome. I'm basing this recipe off of something I saw on Half Baked Harvest, but of course we're gonna put our own spin on it. You can use just regular red pepper flakes, but I'm gonna use some of this chili crunch. This does technically have sesame seed oil, maybe grapeseed oil in it. When I say we try and eat mostly that way, there's just an overload of those chemicals in our food. So I try to avoid it when I can, but there's some things that I love that I'm gonna still have. And this chili crunch is one of those things. So you can add this depending on your spice level. I think I'll do probably about a teaspoon, but not everybody's gonna be able to handle that. It's okay, you don't have to put any spice in it. You could also do some orange juice in this. That would be really good and tangy. We're gonna keep ours a little bit more traditional right now. We're gonna do 2 sheet pan fulls, like full sheet pans. I just realized that I wanted to get some rice going to put in these bowls so that we can make them for lunch prep. I'm just gonna get 2 cups of water, 4 cups of water boiling on the stove with 2 cups of this rice and about a tablespoon of olive oil. You can totally use broth in this. I just don't have any handy, so we're not gonna use it. But cooking with chicken broth and rice just adds so much flavor and also so many nutrients. So it's really worth it if you do have it. And I'm just following the package instructions for this rice. So it's about cover, reduce heat once it starts boiling, and then cover for 45 minutes. And then we're gonna remove it from heat, let it sit for 10 more minutes and fluff it up. So I have about 3 pounds of organic boneless skinless chicken thighs. You can use breasts too, but I find that the thighs are just so much more delicious. I've got 2 bags of organic broccoli florets from Whole Foods, but you can just buy broccoli and cut that up as well. And then 2 jars or boxes, as they may be, of organic garbanzos or chickpeas, whatever you want to call them, drained and rinsed. And so we're just mixing everything evenly on the sheet pans.
Of the salt. A lot of salt.
Yeah, we got to give it lots of flavor. A little garlic powder and onion powder too. We just want lots of flavor on this. I know the sauce is gonna be good, but there's a lot of food here and there's only so much sauce. So we always wanna make sure that we're nice and covered. And I'm gonna spray it with some olive oil too because, again, you can't go wrong. Hot, so let's pour it. Oh, very good job. That is exactly what we wanna say.
I can do it.
Here, we're gonna get a little more.
I want to do it.
We gotta do back here, okay?
Okay.
All over here, okay?
Okay.
There we go. Oh, this sauce smells so good. This is definitely giving me the best of the best breakfast potato vibes. These are so crispy, nice and brown on the outside. The flavor smells delicious. These are gonna go so great in our burritos. Yep. All right, these are going in the oven. Gonna be so good. So what I found with this is it's very steamy, so be prepared because I almost burnt my face just opening the oven. So it's been about 30 minutes. I'm gonna turn this up to broil just for a few minutes just to kind of give it a crisp on the top. We do want to be careful when broiling because it's going to cook really quickly. But you see, we just want it to get like bubbly and crispy on there. And I'm actually going to move that second pan up once this one is done. It's going to be pretty good. So that's what we're looking for right there. You see how it's like really bubbling in the sauce? That is exactly what. Careful, Ben. Careful, careful, careful. Hot, hot, hot. You know what? This is actually good, so I'm not even gonna put it down there. It's looking pretty good if you ask me. Once this rice is done, I'm just gonna plate these up or put them into some food prep containers, and we're gonna have lunches for myself and my husband for the week. So I'm gonna dig into this, but it looks so good. I already tasted a piece and it's amazing. So this will be my lunch today. We're just gonna box up. I'm gonna do 4 right now and then put everything else into a bigger container and then make them as needed. Mostly because I would love to be that person with a million meal prep containers and be like that perfect aesthetic, but someone I can strive to be. All right, it's been a few hours. This is definitely double, which is awesome. So we're gonna make our rolls and then I gotta remember what we do with them because it's been a while. All right, well, good thing I noticed that didn't record. So what I did was I broke the whole ball into 2 and then I turned that into balls. And then you'll see here what I do with the other one. Then make that into 8 pieces, kind of like I do with my tortillas. And then I just take the dough, pull it over itself. And it basically, I don't know, I almost think of it like a basket, like you're pulling it into itself. And then you roll it just like, this is what I would do with sourdough. And I mean, this is a sourdough roll. Well, the purist would say there's yeast in it, but it still has the benefits of sourdough with the discard, okay? And then, so you kind of like roll it and pull it towards yourself. And that makes it so you see on the bottom, like it's not like it was before. So then you just want to put them on a sheet pan that's lined and then cover them. And we're gonna let them sit for a half hour or until they double. All right, we're back and these are nice and fluffy. Ideally, you do want to probably use larger sheet pans here, but mine are all dirty from cooking. All right, we have our egg white from earlier. Just a tiny bit of milk in it, but you don't need it like that. And I'm just gonna wash the tops of these down. It really does make a difference. It makes them look much prettier. Your choice though, you don't have to do it, I guess. But I think you want them to look pretty. And you have the leftover egg white from making the eggs, so you don't have a good excuse. Just don't forget and throw it away accidentally. I've done that. It's a great way to use the entire egg, right? These are so fluffy. So don't be surprised if these are gonna cook up. They're probably gonna go into each other and be more like a pull apart, almost like if I was making a slider roll, which you could totally make with these. You would just want to make, instead of 8 for each recipe. You'd want to do like 24, I think, maybe 12. 12, you do 12. I haven't tried that, but like, I need to. That sounds amazing. And then you can leave them. You can do everything bagel seasoning. You can do like salt flakes, onion. I'm just gonna do sesame seed. That's what we like to do. Sesame seed bun for the, oh. You can also tell that you forgot a bun. If you try to put them on and they just come right off. So we're just gonna bake these at 350 degrees for 22 minutes until they're golden. And then we can break them open. We're gonna use some of the freezer meals that I made a few weeks ago, the Sloppy Joes. Got that going in the crock pot, and we're just gonna put that in the buns. Good, 22 minutes. And as I said, they got stuck together, but that's okay because they're gonna be perfect, delicious burger buns. All right, it's the next morning because that's where we're at. I've got 12 eggs in here. I'm gonna put a little bit of milk. This is all gonna work out because I'm just gonna make the eggs for our burritos, but I'm also gonna make breakfast for the kids at the same time. Why not cook once and eat as many times as possible, right? So it's best to use ghee in a pan. And we're just gonna stir this over low heat until it gets nice and creamy. That's a great way just not to overcook your eggs. If you put them over high, you have to stir them super fast. That is traditionally how you make like a French omelet, but we're gonna do it slow and let it get creamy. All right, we're back, day 2. We're gonna make banana protein muffins, and then while those are baking, I'm gonna assemble the freezer burritos. I've got 3 bananas that are really ripe. We're just gonna mash these up. You can also, when bananas get brown like this, if you're not gonna make anything, just peel them and then put them in a bag and stick them in the freezer. I call them freezer bananas. And I find that that is a great way to make sure they don't, go so bad you have to throw them out, but you're not wasting. And I use them in either smoothies or I can just defrost them to bake with. In this case, these are gonna go in the freezer anyway, so. To that, I'm gonna add 3 eggs, a 1/4 cup of honey, and a teaspoon of vanilla. We've got our dry ingredients. I'm doing a 1/4 cup of coconut flour, 1/2 cup of instant oatmeal, just like plain instant oatmeal, and 1/2 cup of vanilla protein powder. I like the brand Naked. It's my absolute favorite. 2 teaspoons of baking powder. That's gonna be all I have. When you bake a lot, you go through it quicker than you think. 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon, 1/4 teaspoon of salt. And then you could add walnuts or chocolate chips to these, but I'm just gonna leave them as is. You have to find a small muffin pan that I like that's not, silicone's not the best, but it'll do. So we're gonna make mini muffins today. You could totally make bigger muffins too. And this is just olive oil, but it's on the outside, so it should be fine. It's what I have. This is probably like a 1/2 teaspoon or a teaspoon, probably a teaspoon cookie scoop, and it's gonna be the perfect amount to fill these. We're gonna bake these at 350 degrees for probably about 11 minutes. We'll check them. Okay, those are cooking. We're gonna assemble our breakfast sandwiches. I have 10 sourdough tortillas here that I've made ahead of time. And I'll make sure to put that recipe down in the description box. And again, as always, everything is in the app, like the full recipes for everything and the process is in there. Do I sound like I'm rushing? I'm rushing again. So we're gonna set 10 of these up for assembly. I did 10 of these in the microwave for a minute. If you're using store-bought, I would recommend like the Siete brand. Those are pretty good. Or you can get the organic, I always say it wrong, organic bread of heaven, heavenly organic bread. That link is down in my description box. They have amazing sourdough tortillas that you can actually just purchase and they'll come to your door. And they're organic, because you can't get that at the grocery store. You'll want to heat those up too, because you want to make them pliable. So I'm just going to start with a little bit of the potatoes. You really don't want to go too crazy. I mean, unless you're using burrito size, but these aren't burrito size. So you're gonna fill up fast. And so you can even eat 2 of these for breakfast if you wanted to. But I don't think that I need much more than this. So I like to have a snack mid-morning. So I maybe even only needed like 1 potato for this. I ended up with quite a bit of extra potatoes, which is fine because they're delicious. I shredded up some cheese yesterday. So when I was shredding cheese for something else, I don't even remember what it was. I was like, let's just go ham and do the whole block. And that way we have some shredded cheese on hand. So even if you're not buying the store-bought shredded cheese, you're like, oh, it's so convenient. It took me like 2 minutes to take the raw grass-fed cheddar cheese, shred it up and put it in a bag. And this is gonna last for this, maybe even more. Like I could use it all week if I want to. It took me 2 minutes and I avoided the caking agents that are in the other ones. Again though, you do you, whatever you want. I cooked up this bacon yesterday. It's not like a crazy thing. We don't have to put a like absorbent amount of bacon in. You can. Or maybe like sausage crumbles, like have at it. I like sausage in mine, like sausage breakfast burritos, like McDonald's, so good. But my husband doesn't like breakfast sausage. Actually, I haven't been able to find a breakfast sausage that I really like. If you have any ideas, let me know. Salsa is optional. I like it in ours. I don't want to put too much because I don't want it to make the taco wet. Also wanted to say that if you're expecting the tortillas to, like they're pretty pliable, but they do crack. And that's because they don't have any gums in them. So you get what you get. Homemade, they may crack sometimes. And we have our eggs.
And then I just rolled up the burritos like burritos. So 2 sides in and then roll them. And then I pulled up the bottom of the parchment paper sheet. That's in my Amazon store if you like these parchment paper sheets. They work perfectly for the bottom of a sheet pan so that you don't ruin your sheet pan. And they also work perfectly for rolling up burritos like this.
These were 13 minutes at 350. We're gonna give them a minute to cool down. Gotta wait so they don't stick. But then we'll take them out, let them cool, pack them up. We're gonna bag up our bacon, egg, and cheese freezer burritos. And that is it for this week's prep. Like I said, everything is in the app, even the instructions on how to do it in 1 day, not 2, but you can break it up however you need to. Printable recipes, meal planning capabilities. You also get a monthly meal plan with that. And then all of the ones from the prior weeks. There's a 7-day free trial, so you can go check it out and see if it's right for you. And I'll see you next time.